Hello, welcome to the Gab Juls Show. No Gab today, so look who's here, Dan Hutchison. And we've got another guest, the 2026 World Cup ball, Trionda or Trionda.
It's like Wilson from Castaway.
Yeah, it's a bit like that. It is, I mean, there's also other football available, not just Wilson and Trionda, whatever.
Beautiful.
Beautiful, isn't
Love
it?
it,
With
yeah,
the three
love it.
colours of the three countries that we'll see. We'll talk about that a little bit later. We've got a big show because there was a lot of great games all around Europe, all around the world. It's obviously the international break, so we're also going to talk about England with you, Don. But really, let's start at Stamford Bridge for
Only
Chelsea.
one place to
Liverpool.
start,
Only one place to start. Great game. Another defeat for Liverpool, the third in a row in all competition. It was three difficult away games, away at Palace, away at Galatasaray, and away at Chelsea. I think some people are saying it's a mini crisis.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it is. They're still second in the table. We kind of knew that there was some transition to put in place and that it was going to take a little bit of time. But some people think it's a crisis. What do you make of it?
I do think it's a crisis, not because of the results, obviously because of the results, but the performances. Because when you analyse the Crystal Palace game last week, they should have been 5-0 down.
Yeah,
I mean,
correct.
7 massive chances created. They should have got walloped. Gala's a different story. You can go to Gala, you can try Frimpong on the right wing, and you can try something different because there's so many games in the Champions League. What I'm seeing now from Liverpool's point of view, which goes back to match day 1 against Bournemouth, you're looking at a side now who play basketball. Now, that can go in your favour when you score late goals, but it can go against you conceding late goals. People called Liverpool, I find this quite funny because people called Liverpool boring last season when they were winning 2-0,
when they were in
3-0.
control.
And it was like, they're winning 2-3, 4-0 because they're in control.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen Liverpool in control of a game. Maybe 45 minutes against Everton, but not in the second half. Definitely not against Newcastle when Newcastle were down to 10 men. So now you're looking at a side now that are playing basketball, got no control, relying on individual quality. And in the Premier League, the games are so tough, it can literally go either way. So the game next for them is Man United at home.
Yeah.
So you go, well, can they lose that one? No.
After the break, I know they can't.
So what I'm seeing at the minute, Jules, is a lot of work for Arne to do.
Yeah, and in a way, because of the new signings,
Yeah.
and Vies was benched.
I feel sorry for him, you know.
Yeah, me too.
Because
a
the
bit.
Atletico Madrid game, he had a brilliant bit of skill and he put one on a play for Mo Salah. He
Yeah.
hit the post.
Yeah.
So you go, you've lost an assist there.
Yeah.
The weekend, the brilliant Cruyff turn that he put Mo Salah in.
Yeah, the
Who
back end,
shanked
yeah.
it with his right foot.
Yeah,
It could be a couple of
Yeah,
assists
I
in.
agree. I'm with you.
So I feel a little bit for him.
Yeah, and I think the problems are bigger than just is Vies the right guy?
Definitely.
Where do you play him? Because he's clearly very talented, but you know, Isak
Yeah.
defensively, I know he wanted to change, and Konate had a bit of a niggle. He put Gravenberch as a centre back who covers on the second goal.
Yeah.
While Robertson is asleep,
His
at the
hands
far
on his
post,
knees.
hands on his knee before the ball is played.
Yeah.
It's quite at that level to consider a goal like this.
It's amateurish.
Yeah,
You
really.
know,
is,
yeah,
isn't it?
you'd look at a League Two player doing that hands on knees, and you
exactly.
go, "That's why you're in League Two."
Yeah,
Andy
exactly.
Robertson, who's experienced, should know better.
absolutely.
You get yourself in a good body shape, you clear the danger, then you get your rest. I know he'd made a 50, 60
of
yard
course,
run. I
but
get
still.
it, but still, come on,
Yeah,
you can defend. But I think there's so much going on.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, they've
you're
lost
right.
Trent, brilliant player who opened up 50-yard passes. Luis Diaz, I thought, was the one. When Cody Gakpo and Luis Diaz were linked with Bayern, my personal opinion was I'd have kept Diaz. Now, I know he might have been the one that was itching for the move.
He wanted to leave,
But you've lost a brilliant player
Yeah,
who can
for
then
sure.
take Liverpool up the pitch.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think it's an uncomfortable conversation to have with Mo Salah. Because I'm watching Michael Elise play at Bayern and I'm thinking, that's the natural replacement. Now, he's never going to get Salah's goals, but he's a better footballer.
Yeah. I mean, credit to Chelsea as well.
Yeah.
Because it's their win. They went and found a way, despite losing 2 more centre-backs, having to play with Reece James as a centre-back for the whole...
Large parts.
Yeah, last 30 minutes or so of the game. Maresca was under a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And you saw with his celebration on that second goal, which
Yeah.
then gave him a second yellow and a red card.
Another red card for Chelsea.
Another red card for Chelsea. But I knew how much he was under pressure,
Yeah.
right? This is a big win.
Well, two defeats on the spin before
Yeah.
the Liverpool game. So it was huge for him. I mean, how good was Estefan?
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen him at the Club World Cup, and I thought, like, good young player there, but it was his all-round game when he came off the bench and tracking back and putting his foot in and dribbling forward and putting crosses in. But it was huge for Maresca.
Yeah,
I think if he had lost that game or drew, I think the Chelsea fans were starting to turn.
Yeah, I
Back-to-back
agree.
defeats
I agree,
would have
man.
put him under pressure, not really playing great football. That was a character performance.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
when you
I
look
agree.
at all the injuries and all the players that were playing different positions and all the young kids that come on like Estevao and done a really good job, you're looking at a Chelsea side, which would be nowhere near their first 11.
Yeah.
That's like a character
Yeah, I
win.
agree.
It's like, yeah, well played. Like you're willing to dig in.
Yeah, and I think when you're almost carried by Caicedo in this kind of form, not just the goal.
How good.
Right, let's continue on Chelsea and Caicedo, Don, because you were a midfielder as well. And obviously, it was a big move from Brighton.
Yeah.
He struggled at the beginning.
Yeah, he went to Liverpool.
Yeah, of course.
I was hearing it was done.
Yeah, me too. I thought that would be a game changer for Klopp
Amazing.
and him and them at the time. Tough at the beginning for Caicedo at Chelsea, also because he was Pochettino and they were all over the place
young.
and there was no struggle. And he was young. Now we see the real Caicedo, one of the best midfielders in his position for what he does in the world, right?
Amazing. He's one of a few, but you watch his all-round game now and you start to see a level of maturity, which always takes young players time to get.
Yeah.
You go into a new club, you sign a 7-8 year contract, you're on huge amounts of money. You're going to go to Liverpool, Chelsea then come in, you make a new move. You're surrounded by more young players.
Yeah.
And then you've got to try and be a £110 million player. So now we're watching a player now and you think that's why they paid the money. We knew the talent was there.
Yeah,
like Carlos Belieber.
Yeah,
Right, he's going through a bad phase, but he's a £100 million player. Yeah. Adam Wharton's another one. But you watch Caicedo now and you go, right, you are now, even though you're still young, I feel like he's at his top of his game.
Yeah,
it's now you've got to keep it there. When you get from a young age and you get to the top of the game and there's not much room to grow, tiny bits. But once you get to the very top, you got to keep it at the top as long as you can.
Yeah.
And I watch him play and I just think, play him anywhere. Play him right back.
Play
him as a 6, play him as an 8. Do it anywhere.
Yeah.
He's just got such a good appetite for the game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the goal is brilliant because the shot, the little dummy we both like before.
Yeah.
And the Liverpool defense that is dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping, almost letting him shoot, which is another one that we can address when we talk about Liverpool. But when Caicedo is in that kind of form, even if you have two centre-backs who are not centre-backs, like the ones that finished the game for Chelsea, certainly Reece James, Atto is more of a centre-back, I guess, there. But you know that Caicedo in front of you is going to sweep everything. He's going to protect you so much, right?
Well, that's why Klopp wanted to buy him.
Yeah.
And I can remember saying at the time...
Arsenal as well.
Yeah,
I was so keen.
I was speaking to some of my pals at Liverpool, and the night before, it was all done. They thought it was done. And I said, game changer. He'll win Liverpool the league. Exactly what they needed at the time before, obviously, Gravenberch fell into this position. But I just, everything about him. I love his appetite. I like the way he puts his foot in. I like the way, and he can score more goals. And he probably needs to score more goals. That's always, I played that position, and I know he's a lot deeper, but if you can try and aim for double figures and get 10 goals a season or close to it, you're looking more or less the complete player. Yeah. It's sensational to watch.
It was interesting, I think, when the lineups came out and we saw that Gusto and Reece James were together in the starting lineup, which has happened before. I think a lot of us would thought, okay, Gusto is going to play a right back and Reece James in midfield, which again,
did he play 4-1-4-1? That's what it looked like to me.
Yeah, a little bit, but still, I still expected maybe more Reece James to be in that kind of midfield area and Gusto right back. So when we saw Gusto, who is involved in the first goal because he's there between the line, played that pass perfect for Caicedo. I thought, great. Gusto used to be a midfielder at Lyon before, and he used to be a really good one.
Yeah.
It's just as often in a career when he got to the reserve team, I think, and he was 16 playing with the under-21s.
That was like you when you were banging in 100 goals a season. You were a number 9, and then obviously you come that little bit deeper, didn't you?
Because I was the smartest. So then I played into like a deep playing midfielder. But they needed a right back, and they also could see, although Gusto was a midfielder, sometimes on the right, sometimes more centrally, he just had an incredible stamina. Yeah. So right back was, in a way,
it's great for Maresca, isn't it, now?
Yeah.
Because I watch the top sides, and you've got to have versatile players. You've got to have players that are willing or can have the ability to play 3 or 4 positions.
Yeah, I agree.
You've seen that with Gusto, you've seen that with James, you've seen it with Caicedo. Enzo's another one. I think he's best as a number 10, but he can play deeper.
Yeah, definitely.
So they're going places, Chelsea.
Yeah, I think
they might be inconsistent.
They will be.
They're not going to win the title.
Yeah.
They're not ready for that just yet. I know we all say they're young, but they still are. And I still think there's room to improve Chelsea. I think they need a world-class number 1. I think they need a top-draw centre-back. We talked about Frank Leboeuf in Desailly, that sort of experienced player that can manage a game in-game when it's not going well for you. Yeah. They're still a little bit naive. Yeah. But you can't knock them on what they've done and how they played against Liverpool.
No, you're right. And still Cole Palmer obviously not being there.
And Esteval.
Yeah, Esteval was great when he came on. I mean, good. Of those wingers, because we saw all 4 of them, by the way. We saw Neto, Estevao on one side, and first Garnacho, and then Gittens on the others. Yeah. I know they're not perfect. They all 4 of them very young, some younger than the others. Maybe Neto, the most kind of established Premier League one, because he had all those years of Wolves, more than Garnacho. Gittens certainly left and then came back, and Estevao is still very young. But you've got 4 good ones there that you need to make improve.
Yeah.
But they are decent options.
And it also gives you the choice if you're Maresca and you go whichever 2 of the 4 you want to go with. You've got another 2 good ones, very good ones on the bench.
Yeah, absolutely.
So an injury or lack of form or it's not going well for you, if Conor Bradley's getting the best out of Garnacho, you can take him off and put someone else on, Neto on that side, or the way that they play, they've got options. And that's what Chelsea want. I mean, they should have options, by the way. Spent over £1.5 billion. They should have options. But I think things are starting to fall into place, as in forward line now very good.
Yeah.
Loads of wide players that are very good. A midfield probably 4 or 5, 6 to die for. They had 7 keepers at one point. Now I think it's the world-class goalkeeper.
Yes.
See what Donnarumma's doing for Man City. See what Emi Martinez does for Villa. That world-class number 1. And I still think a top-draw centre-back, an experienced one. Not a young one,
probably,
an experienced one.
Yeah.
Having that ability to stand still.
I think Maresca wanted another centre-back in the summer, especially after the Colwell injury, which we knew he would be out for the whole season. And didn't get it. They didn't really want to give him that kind of experience from there, which is the decision. We'll see. But everything you said that that all the pieces are kind of starting to fit well. Yeah. That also adds more pressure on Maresca.
But that's the territory, isn't it?
Because I think if they don't win on Saturday, the pressure is getting bigger.
Yeah, but that's the territory.
I worry for his future.
That is the territory. When you manage the big clubs, especially Chelsea, I mean, they've been a bonkers model for years. Sacking managers here, there, and everywhere, but winning Premier Leagues and winning Champions Leagues. The model's always been a little bit different.
Absolutely.
And a little bit crazy. But I go back to it. If you're a Chelsea fan, from when I played 90s and the noughties, it was up and at 'em, it was high tempo, it was intensity. The fans could get involved. They could latch onto the players. They could rattle their seats. And that's what we saw the week against Liverpool. That sort of game where sometimes I think the criticism from Chelsea fans to Maresca is sometimes it's a little bit pedestrian. It's a little bit like Guardiola-like.
Absolutely. But he's a disciple.
I know, of course. But I don't think it suits Chelsea at the bridge. They need intensity. They need atmosphere. They need it to be a little bit chaotic. They need it to be ferocious. And I think that's when you see the best out of Chelsea. Can Maresca provide that?
I'm not sure. But that second half was very much end-to-end, quite a lot.
Which suited Chelsea.
Which suited Chelsea. Although Liverpool had chances. We can talk about the goal that Chelsea was the winner for Chelsea in a bit. But first there's Mo Salah. And let's open that debate. 2, there's something that Slot said after the game when he said, well, we have more chances. Even against Palace, we had more chances, and I was like,
No, you're watching the wrong game.
This is not true. Even in this game,
yeah,
I'm not sure they have more chances than Chelsea to win it. But Salah should have done better. Certainly on the Wirtz,
100%.
Genius back here.
I mean, without mentioning...
So what is going on then? Because before
with Mo Salah, Mo
Salah,
Salah's technically never been a brilliant footballer. Mo Salah, sometimes when you watch him, or most of the time, excuse me, is quite scruffy. Brilliant finisher, racks up amazing numbers. But when I watch Michael Olise at Bayern, I see like a beautiful footballer. I see a better footballer than Mo Salah.
Right.
Can he hit those sort of numbers? Probably not, but he's a different sort of player.
Yeah, different player.
So the uncomfortable conversation has to be, what's the long-term plan for Mo Salah? He's had a 2-year deal.
Well, that's the answer, right?
But if you're not playing well, then you can't be in the team. That's the problem Slot's got. So Arne Slot's now got this problem, and it's in about 4 or 5 different positions, because the one player that should be starting for Liverpool now is Chiesa. He's in the best form alongside Ekitike. He's the guy
who's in best form because he comes on as a sub. And
maybe,
he's just a super sub.
But my point is, it's like Liverpool have got themselves in a situation where you can't drop Mo Salah because he hits the numbers. But why not if you're not playing well? So Chiesa could play on that side. I know it's a really uncomfortable and a hard discussion because people are screaming, going, "You can't drop Mo Salah. You can't, and you can't, but you can."
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I hear you.
So even if you go into the Chelsea game, the forward that was in format of Ekitike and Isak was Ekitike.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't drop Isak, but you can. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can't drop Gakpo, but you can.
But you think Slot would do that, right? I mean,
I don't know, because it's
again.
Uncomfortable. Because and why I say it's uncomfortable, because if the next game, say Man United are home, and Arne Slot wants to do something tactically different, and he drops Mo Salah, plays someone else, and Liverpool lose, massive headlines around the world. So you half don't want to get into that territory, but you've then got to do the right thing for your team and for your club to get results. Now, I'm not saying dropping Mo Salah is the answer. I'm just saying Liverpool have got that many forwards now. They're in a really uncomfortable position where I think the rebuild has just started to happen, but I think they're halfway through that rebuild. I think there's more players, or should be, in my opinion, more players to come in. Some players need to be phased out.
Yeah, but you can't spend £400 million every
But
summer.
made about 250,
Yeah,
280.
true. Yeah, but
so if you're asking me, would I
Yeah, but
take...
you don't have many more players you can sell for that amount now.
No, but it might be fantasy football, but if you're saying to me, who'd you rather have, McAllister or Adam Wharton? Adam Wharton all day long.
Okay, so you spend 100 million on Wharton, but then what do you do with McAllister? You keep him. Because
Well, you might have to sell Curtis Jones. You might have to sell a lot more. It's fantasy football.
Yeah.
But if you're asking me who's a better centre half, Marguehi or Canate, it's Marguehi.
Yeah. That's a more
Joe Gomez.
swap because they're both out of contract.
Or you sell then Joe Gomez. What I'm saying is, it's like the rebuild is halfway through, but I'm watching a team that's not complete because more players need to come in. It's still a mystery to me why Liverpool never got the Gahey signing over the line. When they bid 35, 40 million, I know Palace couldn't get the centre-halves in, but it's a chance to have Gahey for 6 years.
Yeah, no.
If I was Liverpool and Richard Hughes, I would have went, right, we're offering 35, and it was like, Humlin and Haren thought it was done, maybe not. What do you want?
Yeah.
Is it 45? Is it 50?
Yeah.
Because 50 now for a player you're going to have for 6 years, bargain, in
Yeah,
my opinion.
absolutely. Yeah,
So I think the
I'm with
rebuild's
you.
halfway there.
Yeah, I think it's a transition year anyway, but we knew that.
Yeah.
Remember when Slot arrived, he had no new players to integrate.
Would you agree that Michael Olise is a better footballer than Mo Salah? Because I think he is.
Like, as in technically gifted, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's got less pace, for example, than Salah. So it depends if you prefer the pace or if you prefer somebody who won't have that pace, but have, probably better.
It's because the conversation is that Mo Salah's been hitting like 25 goals, like regular.
Yeah.
Like phenomenal.
He's a goal scorer who plays on the right.
When you then take the goals away from Mo Salah, what are you then left with?
Last season there was a lot of assists. I think he hit 15 or 16 assists.
I get you. I'm being ultra picky.
No, I know.
I'm just trying to say you lose so much, and it's very obvious, and you're losing Mo Salah's goals, but you're losing where I think that position can be improved in time. It might not be a panic buy now.
Yeah, no.
But I would imagine.
Right.
I would imagine
and
Liverpool.
He's 33 years old. So
I would imagine Liverpool are keeping eyes on players because it has to happen, right?
Of course,
it has to happen where Van Dijk gets replaced.
Of course,
Mo Salah gets replaced. It has to happen.
100%. Yeah.
So the eyes will be on the ground now, right? Who potentially could come in for Mo Salah, either now, in a year, or 2 years' time. The way Elise is going, I think he could be the man.
The thing about this squad now is very much Arne Slot's team. The team that won the title last season was Arne Slot's team, but it was Jurgen Klopp's team, really, let's be honest. It was his squad. Yeah. There was no new signing when Slot arrived in the summer or in January. Chiesa doesn't really count.
Yeah.
This very much is, this is Arne Slot team, this is my team. The thing is, you have to integrate all those new players.
Which is going to be hard.
Wirtz, Kerkers, Frimpong.
So how do you get tactically Ekitike, Isak and Wirtz?
I don't think they can play together. I don't think Isak and Ekitike can play together.
I'd hate the thought of Ekitike being shoved out to the left wing.
I know.
I'd hate the thought of that.
But we saw a little bit of them together against Galatasaray, and that was the case. One has to kind of shift a little bit.
A little bit.
Or you play a completely different system, and then you have a front two, old school way.
Yeah.
A 10 behind in Wirtz, or even a flat 4, and you play 4-4-2.
Yeah.
But then you have Mo Salah on the right-hand side. And the thing to finish with Mo Salah, as we saw against Chelsea on Saturday, he obviously doesn't defend much, certainly less than he used to.
Because it's all about the numbers now.
Well, I don't think he was ever the most unselfish defensive. Let's strike back and let's follow him out.
He'd done it to a degree.
Yeah, to a degree.
Be fair to him, he worked really hard.
On Saturday, he didn't do it at all. So Cucurella had literally him and Garnacho first, him and Gittens then is just like, hey, let's go. There's a 2v1 here all the time pretty much. Let's go.
I mean, that conversation will happen when he goes to AFCON.
Yeah.
So then...
Because then you will have a Chiesa there.
Then you can try.
Whatever. Yeah, of course.
Then you can try.
And we will see what they do. But yeah, this transition, now you have to integrate all those players. It's difficult. The balance is not right.
No. They've lost control.
Complete control.
People said last season, which really wrecked my head, when Liverpool winning 2, 3 and 4-0, they're boring. It's like, how can you be boring? Because Liverpool are not boring now, but they're not winning games. It's basketball stuff. Yeah. And Liverpool at their best, which I'm seeing in Arsenal now, Liverpool at their best last season controlled nearly every single game they played.
So how come then, where is... Because this is the same midfield as last season. The one that started against Chelsea, Szoboszlai, McAllister, Gravenberch, is the same as last season.
Yeah.
So you've lost control because
shoehorning Florian Wirtz on the left-hand side against Crystal Palace.
Yeah, but let's talk about this Chelsea game.
Yeah, but just very quickly, that was a mistake on comms when I was commentating on the game, watching Florian Wirtz on the left-hand side against Crystal Palace when Daniel Munoz is one of the best runners in the Premier League, and he was up and down with fun.
I mean, that team from Slot makes no sense. The team against Galatasaray, I know you said you can try the Champions League. It made no sense to me.
I get it, but it was worth an experiment because of so many games. I get it.
So, but that midfield three, which is the same as last season, right, doesn't have that control. In possession, out of possession. So I think McAllister is the shadow of himself right now.
Lacking a bit of fitness.
Yeah, clearly.
Didn't have a good pre-season.
Clearly.
So he's not sharp.
Not sharp. And if you don't have his control on the ball...
And confidence, Jules, is something... We're very lucky in the modern game that you can measure all the data in the world. You can never measure a player and a team's confidence.
Yeah.
Liverpool strut out last season every game thinking, we're going to boss this, we're going to dominate this, we're going to have control, we're going to play a slower tempo of football, but we're going to be completely in control of midfield, going to get a wide man and Diaz, or he played as a false nine last season, done really well. Salah got his numbers. They were probably on average, if you probably analyse Liverpool now and Liverpool last season, I reckon they've probably lost 20 yards in the average positions. Liverpool last season
the mid block we saw against Chelsea is not right. Anyway.
And can McAllister cover that ground?
Yeah.
No, Curtis Jones is not that sort of player.
Yeah.
Gravenberch's a 6. So it's on Florian Wirtz to create magic. It's on your front men. It's on Salah. It's on Gakpo.
Yeah.
Chiesa is the one I think needs or should have a start. It's how do you get him in? I don't know.
The thing is as well, you mentioned Trent earlier, and I think with Trent, we know the weaknesses defensively. We don't need to.
I was never bothered by that.
No, I know you were not. But Liverpool used to, for example, build up a time with the flat four. So you'll have Robertson, Trent, and then Konate and Van Dijk, plus Gravenberch in there as your main option.
On probably the halfway line.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you're watching them now.
Yeah, they're a bit deeper. And that medium block, again, didn't work against Chelsea at all and didn't really work so far this season against Palace as well.
Yeah.
You just get picked. Now, you don't have Robertson and Trent because you've got, let's say, Frimpong and Kerkers who are already, when you try to build up from the back, already 20 yards up.
Frimpong's struggling. Frimpong's struggling really badly.
Kerkers as well. We mentioned some of his mistakes that he's made and that he hasn't really stepped up yet to... This is not Bournemouth anymore. No. This is Liverpool.
You can't kick the ball out for a throw-in against Crystal Palace. You play for Liverpool. You can do that for Bournemouth. Andy Robertson should know better. I mean, I was watching the goal unfold against Chelsea. I'm thinking, I know you've made a big run, but why you got your hands on your knees and you're not looking at Esteval?
So you think he was... So
I think he was knackered. I think he took like a little mental break.
20 minutes.
No, I know. when you see it back again, he'd made about a 70-yard run and a 70-yard back.
Yeah.
Now, you can do it. Obviously, professional footballers, they're fit. And I think he's just took a little crazy half a second where he thought, I'm blowing, but he's got himself in a really awkward, horrible position, hands on knees, took his eyes off Esteval, should have been side on, defend the situation.
That's the biggest mistake for me, really.
Defend the situation, then get your breather.
Yeah.
Worst case, kicking out for a corner.
Yeah.
Do what you want. And then reset.
Just make sure the ball doesn't come through.
He will be so annoyed, Andy Robertson, at what he done there.
But it's not good enough.
No, it's not good enough.
He's definitely
and
not good
Kirk I thought he'd be the one that hit the ground running.
Yeah.
I've watched every Liverpool game this season, but I watched the Southampton game in the Cup.
Yeah.
Frimpong started. Had a nightmare.
Yeah.
Kept giving the ball away, starting to lose his confidence. And you think, right, well, you need to do more because you could be playing. You know, you and Conor Bradley are vying for the same position. That's why Szoboszlai's been playing at right back.
Well,
because Frimpong's not good enough at the moment.
Yeah, but also for that control, for the build-up phase that we mentioned earlier. There's a lot of things for Slot.
You stick all of that, Jules, in the pot, and you go, crikey, there's a lot of problems there. There's a lot of problems.
More than we anticipated.
Oh, definitely. I think we saw with Isak coming in, going to take time. Ekitike, brilliant, had a fantastic start. He will be amazing for Liverpool, I'm guaranteed. I expected a little bit more from Florian Wirtz, but at the same time, he's been unlucky because he's put a couple on a plate for Mo Salah and he's missed them, so his numbers could be a little bit better, but still, he's a brilliant player, going to take a little bit of time to adjust. But midfield, defensively, I mean, Liverpool just not keeping clean sheets.
Yeah, where do you go from there then? How do you sort out this lack of control? Because
the best thing for Liverpool is they've got Man United, and I don't mean that for Man United fans. What I mean is, you as a player, when you're off the back of a few bad results, you don't want Wolves coming to Anfield in a game or a Palace coming to Anfield where you're expected to win, but you might get a draw. You want a massive game The crowd are on
Everybody's
it.
pumped, yeah.
The crowd are on it like they were in the Arsenal game.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
intensity's there. The atmosphere, it'll be ferocious. The players don't need a team talk because the adrenaline will be in the players.
Yeah.
You're playing against your biggest rival. That's the sort of game you need.
Yeah.
And it can be all turned around in 190 minutes. If Liverpool play really well, score loads of goals, but really convince everyone they're back.
Yeah.
If they don't, then we're starting to look at a crisis.
Just finally, Isak has been credited for the assist for the Gakpo goal.
Yeah.
We agree that this is not what he meant, right?
No.
It's the first touch for himself at best.
Yeah.
He just
I
put his
actually saw
leg
some
here.
positive signs in him, you know.
Yeah, me too.
The two
But
positive
again-
signs
but
was him and
again-
Mamadashvili.
Yeah.
I thought Mamadashvili was really good.
Yeah, he was really good as well. But again, like Isak cannot not succeed at Liverpool. He's just too good for that in such a
Yeah.
good team with such a good manager.
Yeah.
It might just take him 1 month, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4, I don't know what.
I saw a lot more fitness in his game.
Yeah, which
Against Chelsea.
they're building up clearly.
Exactly,
Yeah, and
exactly.
Wirtz the same. Surely Wirtz at some point.
I mean, if Mo Salah scores that goal on his right foot at the far post when he shanks it,
Yeah.
people will be talking about that mid-air Cruyff flick from flying reverse for years.
It's a genius. It's a genius
Genius
touch.
move.
Absolutely.
And like
absolutely.
he gets punished on
Yeah,
like
yeah.
socials because people go, no assists.
Yeah, I know.
Well, what more can you do?
I know, exactly. So it's not all bad, Liverpool fans, but let's wait until the United game. Right, enough Chelsea and Liverpool. What about some quickies done?
Let's do it.
Arsenal are the new Premier League leaders after they win against West Ham on Saturday. Done. Are they the best team in the league right now for you?
They are, Jules. I commentated on the game. It was like watching Liverpool last year. They were in control
Yeah, I agree.
of the game against West Ham from minute one.
Yeah.
It was like you were just watching a team purr. I mean, the bench is a bench to die for. Every single player in that bench could easily play for the first team, and they will. The three midfield players that started the game, three midfield players came on for them.
Yeah.
It was more the control.
Yeah,
it was more
yeah.
like, we'll take you on at our own pace. We can score anytime we want. West Ham sort of, I kept saying on commentary, I credited West Ham a little bit because they were willing to like put their bodies on the line and try hard, but they got outplayed. Don't get me wrong. But I just watched Arsenal and just thought, like, you look flawless.
Against
Look
the
so
team
good.
who won the
Defensively
last-
strong.
Against the team that won the last 2 times they
Yeah.
came to the Emirates as well. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not, you know,
Yeah.
I agree with you.
I mean,
I was
it
there
was just,
too.
yeah, you just get that feeling when you just go, there's only one winner before the game.
Yeah.
Then when the game kicks off, you go, there's still only one winner.
Yeah.
And then you watch the game and you go, well, it just depends on how many.
Yeah, yeah.
Because West Ham are
yeah.
never going to score because it's
Yeah.
a brilliant back line that they've got.
Oh, Timber, I think Timber is outstanding. He
Calafiori as
he gets
well.
the penalty. Second goal. I thought the Zubimendi pass for Eze on the first goal.
Brilliant.
Forward like that, and that Eze run.
Well, I
run
think-
that other guy would not make.
Well, I think there's only one player, correct me if I'm wrong, it's obviously David Raya being the goalkeeper, that doesn't score or hasn't scored for Arsenal. Everyone else scores.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
I think Timber's got
might not-
one.
Yeah,
Saliba might be
not
enough.
have one.
But
yeah,
like literally
yeah,
everyone
you're
else.
Right. Yeah,
Goals all over the
Yeah,
place. And they don't concede neither.
No, you're right.
But
And
brilliant in
Gyökeres
possession.
is still clearly a work in progress because I think he brings a lot to the team.
Yeah.
It's just still something a little bit missing. But
But
he will
great
get
to
there.
watch.
Yeah.
Amazing to watch. Total control. Good result for Arsenal, Jules, but concerns about Martin Odegaard.
Yeah, it's another injury. And we were saying off air when we were preparing for the show, he tried to get the ball off Somerville and his knee clearly hit the knee of
Bone on bone.
Somerville, bone on bone, as you said, except that Somerville was going forward. So for him, it was obviously less painful. But for Odegaard, who was leaning back, clearly the knee turned
Yeah.
a bit. So it's an MCL, which is probably around 6 to 8 weeks, you would say?
Yeah,
You had it when you were playing?
I've done that injury myself, and I called it on Commons when I seen the bone on bone. I said, hopefully for Odegaard's case, it's just a collision,
Just the knock,
because
yeah.
then it can be bone on bone,
Yeah.
ice, rehab. You can come back within a few days. And then I saw it again, and I thought the way the bone on bone in the collision happened, his knee then sprung back, and I went medial.
Yeah.
Done his medial. So that's something that doesn't need an operation. I wouldn't have thought. Obviously, I'm no doctor, so I don't know the extent of it, but
yeah,
having done that
usually
injury
6 to 8
before,
weeks off.
it will. It'll be rest. It'll be ice. It'll be icing it every minute of the day. Rehab in the early phase. There won't be too much, and then he should be absolutely fine.
Yeah, but that's the only thing. And again, he had that shoulder injury earlier in the season.
And he was brilliant against Olympiacos, like
he was
phenomenal.
so sharp,
And I looked at
yeah.
his body and like his face, and he looked trim.
Yeah.
Like he looked
Yeah, yeah,
sharp,
he
like
looked
he was
sharp. Yeah,
clean, like
definitely.
really fit. And I thought, right, he's back.
Yeah, definitely.
Shame.
Manchester City got a deserved 1-0 win away at Brentford, but lost Rodri to what looks like another injury.
Hamstring, we think, don't we?
Yeah, he looked
That's
like
just-
that, yeah.
So that's a sort of classic case when, again, you're coming back from an ACL. The surrounding muscles always need that little bit of time. It's a funny one because in an ideal world, Pep would love to rest him, and I probably still think he probably needs a little bit of rest.
Yeah.
I know he's come back, so people say what you're
Yeah,
talking about.
I
He hasn't
agree.
played for ages, but when you come back, it's so intense on the body and the surrounding muscles. it might take an international break might be the perfect opportunity for him, unless it's a hamstring strain, just to have that little bit of rest. But he's a player now that's you've just got to wrap up in cotton wool, haven't you?
I know.
Because he's so good and so important.
That perfect physically either since the start of the season. And the problem for City is that if he's not on the pitch, it's Nico Gonzalez and the drop in level.
Different side.
Rodri.
And we're not saying Nico Gonzalez is a bad player. It's just Rodri Ballon d'Or's that good.
Exactly. And then I think you feel it on the pitch. Nico was not bad yesterday in that Brentford game where City just managed that lead. I think City had one shot in the whole second half.
Yeah.
That was the block shot by Oscar Bob after like 5 minutes in the second half.
I mean, Haaland's goal was brilliant, wasn't it? His interview afterwards, 11. He went, I loved it. I was in a fight. I was in a scrap, and he wriggled away and smashed it in.
18 goals in 11 games so far this season in a competition for club and country.
For a guy that doesn't get serviced a lot.
But that's the thing. Yesterday, he had one shot, that goal.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
He's on fire.
So he's efficient.
Yeah, but like as a team and as a manager in Guardiola, sure you think like, hang on, we need to find a way.
You'd think so.
Feeding him more.
I mean, you'd
that's
think
not
so.
Enough. One shot in the whole game. Like, come on.
It can't be. Because I watched him when he first come through the door when he hit 50 goals and he was getting like threes against West Ham and 4 or 5 chances a game.
Yeah, four shot per game. Like this time, one shot in a game in 90 minutes.
I mean, I seen his interview after the Champions League game and he said, "Well, I still can be effective. I can move defenders around."
Sure.
But you can't kid a kidder. And when you play the game, Jules, like what you want to be in a game is you want to be involved.
Yeah.
I can't imagine ever playing centre mid and go, "I only had 7 touches today, but I was good, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, never took. He's a different animal because one chance, one goal.
Too. Yeah,
exactly. But it's very weird and very strange because we're not used to seeing, I don't think, anywhere across Europe over any decade, seeing players not get any service but still being prolific.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Bad week for Barca, battered against Sevilla.
Incredible. Although the PSG game in midweek, you could say, okay, they're two great teams. PSG can go to Barcelona and dominate them and win like they did in the second half. But for this Barca team to go away at Sevilla, a Sevilla that had been in reconstruction completely, Manchester Almeida doing a really good job.
Wasn't he in a relegation scrap last year?
Yeah, of course. It's Alexis Sanchez playing up front who's like 58 years old, And my word, that first half from Barcelona is one of the worst I've seen them play on the flick.
What, as in like the passing was slow or like...
Everything. Passing was slow, mistakes, bad touches, wrong decision, not enough intensity. Their press was horrible. They were put under pressure by a Sevilla team that was very intense.
Yeah.
I mean, he came back they were 2-0 down, then Rashford scored this lovely inside of the left foot volley. Brilliant. So it was just 2-1 at halftime, but they should have been 4-0 down at halftime.
Wow.
The game would have been over. And in the second half, they have chances. Lewandowski misses a penalty. They've got more chances to come back in the game without being good. And then they concede 2 late goals because they can't defend that high line.
Oh, yeah, it's madness.
It's just being picked move after move. They've got this, like, which a lot of teams do, really. Offside, passive offside. So on purpose, I'm offside.
What does that mean?
I'm there on purpose, offside.
Oh, the old Van Nistelrooy where you stand behind, offside.
Exactly. So you're there, but then you run through.
Exactly.
The ball gets to you, and now I'm ahead of the 2 centre backs. But now I'm back on side.
Exactly.
Then you play back, I score.
The first person I saw that was Van Nistelrooy.
Yeah, of course.
He used to stand offside, wait for someone to go down the wing, and then he's got a yard ahead of the defenders. He's back onside because you pull the ball back.
Yeah. And that's how Sevilla scored the 4th goal, I think. I think the 3rd and the 4th. And just Barca right now have no answer to that.
It's just not sustainable, is it? It's high line.
It's mad. We've got more quickies done.
Let's do it.
Manchester United beat Sunderland on Saturday.
Banker.
Yeah, Ruben Amorim called it an adult win. What's an adult win?
I don't know what an adult win is because it didn't have to show any character or dig in. The amount of
score early.
The amount of injuries that Sunderland had, when I seen the team sheets come in, I thought if ever there was a Man United banker win, it was that game.
Yeah.
And give them a bit of credit. They've won a game.
Yeah.
There's nothing really to say in terms of like being in depth. I mean, I seen the team sheets come in. I seen Dalot left wing back and Ahmad right wing back, and I went, "What's that?" But like, how can you sit here now and criticise them because they won a game?
Yeah, and Ahmad was good, to be fair.
He was good in a wing back role, but
you don't think it's a turning point? Because a lot of people are wondering,
how can it be?
Yeah,
how can it be? The goalkeeper done quite well, but it's didn't really have too much to do.
No, that's true.
Made one sort of half crazy error where he come out the box and brought Traore down.
Yeah.
Maybe he was lucky, maybe not, but I don't know what an adult win means because it was quite comfortable.
Yeah, maybe you mean with maturity and don't make any mistakes. So
let's see if they can do that against Liverpool away.
Yeah, that's the thing,
isn't it?
Because they still haven't won back-to-back games until him in the Premier League.
And the boy with the haircut, he's still waiting for the 5.
He can't go through the door anymore.
I love him. Lille and PSG saw a special goal, Jules.
Yeah.
Goal scorer, special fan in the stands as well.
Yeah, because we saw an incredible free kick. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out from Nuno Mendes. There's just nothing that Nuno Mendes cannot do. Wednesday, he put Lamine in his pocket, gives the assist on the first PSG goal.
Best in the world.
Sunday, scored a like Roberto Carlos-esque free kick, top corner, incredible. That was 1-0 up for PSG. That's played with a C team for most of the game. Then Ethan Mbappe comes on for Lille, 18-year-old, brother of, obviously, former PSG player. Gets a little bit lucky, but scored the equalizer, 1-1. Who is in the stands? Kylian himself with Wilfried, the dad, all going like wild. Well done, Ethan. So, yeah, it was a bit of a special night, really.
Brilliant.
Only a second win of the season in the Premier League done for your boys and Newcastle. You must be happy. And Voltemade scored again.
And by the way, he was brilliant in the Champions League.
Yeah.
It's sensational against Union Saint-Gilloise. Like, played really well. He penalty at the weekend, brilliant.
Yeah, great penalty.
Like, he stepped up and I thought, like, is he a penalty man?
Let's see it. The way he took it.
Has he got that in his locker? And he's sort of stanchioned it with a little bit of curl. Listen,
and his all-around game looked better
all around. He's getting fitter. He's getting sharper. He's got lovely feet. He can hold the ball. He's obviously very good in the air. He's an in-form striker, I think, out of all the new signings that have came in the summer.
Yeah.
But it was nice to see Ante Elanga play.
Yeah.
You know, when you see him play.
He was great in midweek as well.
And you see Gordon playing, you think, these are the guys that need to get Newcastle up the pitch. And Bruno scored a great goal.
Yeah, great goal.
Sensational goal. So, I mean, to be honest, against a struggling Forest side, they were a home banker to win the game.
Yeah.
But still, for Newcastle, they needed it, Jules. They needed the clean sheet. They needed a win.
It was a slow start of the season, wasn't it?
Slow start, yeah. I think all the Isak drama and just things went against them, and it was a bit doom and gloom. But I think when you sort of park the Isak stuff and you go the window and the players that they brought in, Newcastle now, I think, are a better team or a better squad.
Yeah,
they've lost a brilliant player, obviously.
Yeah.
I was well pleased. To be honest, Jules, when Newcastle play at home, I fancy them against anyone.
Yeah,
like anyone. PSG, you see your boys go there and get walloped a couple of years ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyone. It's away from home, which is the slight worry.
Yeah.
Real Madrid back on top, Jules, after a win against Villarreal.
Yeah, we mentioned the defeat from Barcelona. And before that, Real Madrid had won against Villarreal, who are third or fourth in the table. So it was kind of a slight top of the table clash.
Mm-hmm.
And Villarreal, a good team, although the manager Marcelino changed a few things and his tactical tweaks didn't work in this game. But Real Madrid, without having to put up the most amazing performance, were again controlled. I mean, control. We talked a lot about control on the show today. They were good. 2 goals for Vinicius, which I think is important because the start of the season had been a little bit iffy, sometimes on the bench, sometimes
Kylian gave him
on.
a pen as well, didn't he?
Yeah, which Xabi Alonso said after the game, Kylian is the penalty taker. He's the number one. I didn't know he was going to give it to Vini, but I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
And I think it was very good from Kylian as well to do that. Then Kylian got his goal. Good 1-2 with Brahim Diaz. So good win, 3-1 in the end. And because of the Barca defeat as well, Real Madrid back on top. I think 2 points clear. So all in all, you haven't forgotten the derby and the defeat there, but it's a very good performance and a very much better weekend. We talked about Newcastle, but we have to talk about Forest, who they beat, obviously, because that means another game without a win for Ange. That's 7 in a row now.
Yeah.
Can he survive, do you think?
It's looking a bit doom and gloom. And the worst sign I saw from that game, I don't know if you've seen it, was when the players went over to the away fans and Ange went across the away fans and they were all applauding the Forest fans. And then he was over there and it felt like he was on his own and all the players just sort of walked straight past him.
They walked past him, yeah.
Like really, like Morgan Gibbs White didn't even look at him.
Gibbs White didn't look.
It wasn't a good look.
I know.
I thought it was a strange appointment because when you think of Spurs and how crazy they were and that high line that he played, and you've seen Romero and Van der Ven pick up injuries because their distances were cover.
Yeah.
I can't imagine Murillo and Milenkovic wanting to cover those sort of distances.
I agree.
So I think
you've gone from one extreme with Nuno to the other with Ange.
I know.
It's weird.
And it's like I think the Forest fans is angst. I don't really think it's against Ange, really. I think it's against Marinakis, the owner.
Yeah, probably. I don't think they wanted Nuno to go. And
no, exactly.
It was not perfect, the start of the season under Nuno, but I don't think they wanted him to go. So I think anybody could have come and not really hit the ground running, and they would have been unhappy anyway.
And his press conference was a bit spiky as well.
Yeah.
He's touchy like that, isn't he?
Yeah, and I think he maybe took for granted the fact that he would improve them quickly. And that's not the case.
Nuno's done well, in terms of getting out at the right time.
Yeah,
because he's got them to European football and thought, I'm off.
Yeah.
3-year deal.
You can match that. Yeah, definitely.
Talking of matching things, Harry Kane scored another one, Jules. What a goal.
And your boy Luis Diaz as well, because you mentioned it earlier.
Scored a brace.
Scored in the first minute to start with. 2 goals from them. And it was a tricky game. Where Frankfurt on paper certainly, and Frankfurt could be a very good going forward with the ball attacking wise. Yeah, okay, they got
score loads of goals.
Yeah, score loads of goals. They got destroyed by Atletico Madrid in midweek in the Champions League because of that. I think because they were just a bit naive and open. But in the league, you just never know. And I thought they were good in this game at times. But just Bayern it's just so dominant.
I mean, he's finished Harry Kane. I mean, it's textbook the way he gets it. Luis Diaz was in the pocket, causing problems, and he plays it to Kane, and he hits it with so much cut spin, so much fade, and he sort of drilled it. It was like
just to the millimeter, because the keeper obviously, dives there. Yeah. It's the post and the hand of the goalkeeper, and you literally have the size of the beyond that. Yeah. That's it. You can't. And it's in. And he must have scored this one 100 times. It's incredible stuff this season for me.
Frightening player.
Yeah. The big clash of the weekend in Serie A was Juve against Milan. Don, I watched your commentary of it on Sunday night, which was really good. What did you make of it?
I thought it was a good game, to be honest. I mean, the stand-up moment in the game, I think, was Mike Magnon's save from Gatti from close range. Sort of starfish, spread himself from about 2 or 3 yards. It was a very tactical game.
Yeah.
And you looked at it, and I looked at it 5 minutes in, and I thought, right, 2 top-class goalkeepers, brilliant defenders.
2 back threes,
sensational midfield players.
Yeah.
And then you think forward line, Juve, I think leaving Vlahovic on the bench was a little bit of a mistake. But I think you looked at 2 really good sides going head-to-head. Modric, by the way, again.
Yeah.
He was outstanding against Napoli when Milan had 10 men last week in a 2-1 win. Outstanding again against Juve. But I think when you look at the bigger picture this morning, you go, right, I think that's Milan unbeaten in 6. They had 5 straight wins and a draw, obviously.
Yeah.
Juve still unbeaten since the start of the
season. It's 5 draws
season.
in a row for them, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think when you look at it, you go still unbeaten. You go 2 draws, work in progress. He's building. Yildiz is a brilliant player.
Yeah,
sensational
so good,
player. Mystery why I took him off.
Yeah.
But I think all in all, it was a very tactical game. And I said to Adam in comms with about 20 minutes to go, it's got the feeling of a one goal win, and then Christian Pulisic missed the pen.
Yeah.
So once he misses the pen, you go.
Leao had a couple of
2 big chances.
Yeah, decent to do
that's going to be the fascinating thing. How does Allegri see Rafa Leao? How does he integrate him into the team? Another one of the biggest games of the weekend, Jules, Porto versus Benfica.
Yeah, massive game. Obviously, the biggest one in Portugal, and massive game for Jose Mourinho. Obviously, now the Benfica manager coming back to Porto, where he was booed and heckled and everything you want, which I think he expected.
He loves it.
Yeah, exactly. KG game, as you could expect. Yeah. Mourinho and Benfica just closed that game. Not much really, although they almost won it because Kivior hit the crossbar in the second half. But yeah, I think he wanted a draw and he got it. Crystal Palace were cruising at Everton, leading with 15 minutes to go, Don, and then it all collapsed. It's their first loss in 20 games now.
Amazing.
What happened?
Well, I was on the game on Thursday when they beat Dynamo Kiev, and they played really well. Tough place to go for Palace, but they got the win.
Yeah.
And then when I seen they were playing Everton next, I thought that's going to be the big test, off the back of European football. First time in Europe.
Yeah.
You go in Poland, you get a win, you play Everton away. It's a little bit stressful on the players that are playing because it's more or less give or take the same 11 all the time.
Yeah.
Even though they're fit and
they don't have the depth in the squad to play 2 teams.
And it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. So maybe you were looking at a Palace side in the last 15 minutes, just got a bit tired.
And that's when they had to score their chances. Because if you
they had chances.
They could have
Mateta had a big chance. Sarr had a chance.
Yeah, easily. But when you don't, and you just 1-0 up against a team like that can have a set piece at any time, moment of brilliance for somebody, it's tricky.
Different game, innit?
Yeah,
scored the second goal.
That will cost them. It will cost them points through the season, inevitably.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. Dortmund are still unbeaten in the Bundesliga, Jules, but they couldn't beat Leipzig.
Yeah, it was one of the other big games. We talked about the Juve Milan game, the Porto Benfica game. This was good, and it was good because Leipzig are doing much better than they were last season. Dortmund were good; they haven't lost in the league since February or something crazy like that. It finished 1-1. Dortmund had, I think, probably enough to maybe win the game. Bentabani has a good shot at the end, but Leipzig, to be fair, Leipzig could have won it 2-1. It was quite an end-to-end game. I was a bit disappointed. It was not actually more open because I thought, okay, this is brilliant. 2 teams are going to attack. Yeah. It's going to be 3-3, 4-3, 3-2 somewhere. And actually, it was a bit of control too there, and it was not too hectic. So it was not bad. Dortmund are 4 points behind Bayern now, and I think already you know that it's over. Bayern have been so good. Bayern are the only team in Europe to have won every single game in all competitions.
They're going to cruise the league.
Only
this year.
team. Yeah, they will be.
They're going to cruise.
They will be. Don, is there a better player than Antoine Semenyo right now in the Premier League?
It's a good question, you know. I mean, I was reading his backstory today. I love watching him play, but he got released by the majority of London clubs. I think he got a red card, I think, against Derby back in the day as well. So it shows that he's got a bit of sort of spirit and a bit of character about him. But you're watching it play and you think, I don't know about you, but I'm getting Sadio Mane vibes when I watch him.
Yeah.
Like, he's just on fire, and maybe it took a little bit of time, as it does when young players grow and they grow into their body, and he's a big lad and he's quick.
Yeah,
he's got a trick. He's very, very strong. Direct, he scores worldy goals, and you wouldn't want to come against him. Wouldn't want to play against him.
It's that confidence that you mentioned earlier that you can't really see in data or anything.
How do you put that into a player? How do you measure it?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really hard. But I think out of you took all the big players and every right. I think you mentioned Semenyo, and he's worth putting in that conversation.
Yeah, I
agree.
He's a
brilliant player to watch.
I agree.
Another big derby in the south of France this time, Jules.
Yeah, it was the Mediterranean. Yeah, here we go. Mediterranean derby between Monaco and Nice. And Monaco, who drew with City midweek in the Champions League, they needed a result. Adi Hutter under pressure, and I think he's going to get sacked now.
Yeah.
I got a message just before we started this segment, Don, that I think it's probably over for Adi Hutter.
Yeah.
And Monaco, because they could not beat Nice, despite Nice getting a red card with half an hour to go. It was a weird game. There was 3 penalties, 2 players who scored a brace each. Ansu Fati for Monaco, both on pens. Sofiane Diop, the former Monaco player for Nice, 1 on pen. And Monaco, who had enough chances to win it. So it's not all on Adi Hutter. I think he's going to pay the price and be sacked. But it was not all on him. With another kind of disappointing result, really, even more than performance. And they're still right up there with PSG, Lyon, and Marseille. But they're probably not exactly where they would want to be right now. And they've got a ton of injuries. So it's a bit unfair on him, I guess. But I think the writing was a little bit on the wall. So. Another manager who was under massive pressure now has gone.
Good segue.
Good segue. Russell Martin be sacked by Rangers after only 7 league games.
123 days. I mean, I'm surprised it's took that long, to be honest, Jules. I mean, he should have went a long time ago.
I agree.
I mean, it was never the right fit. He kept talking about, like, after the games, I watched the game live when he said we started really well in the game, and I'm thinking, that's not the game that I just watched, because you were 1-0 down, 1 disallowed by VAR, 1 off the line, and 1 hit the crossbar, and you said you started well. And it's the same rhetoric all the time. It's like he's watching or trying to convince.
Denial, I swear.
Yeah, and it's like he's trying to convince everyone. And he's like, another thing he said last week, and he's going, well, it's not all about the wins. You know, it's the pride and it's the
process.
I'm sorry, it's all about the wins.
Especially in your position, mate.
When you're in Scotland, Jules, it's you know, Hearts I think are sitting top, but you know, predominantly it's Celtic Rangers. It's all about the wins. No one cares how you play in Scotland. Right? You can have all these philosophies and see the bigger picture and try and have this sort of plan and all the patterns of play. Great. You've got to win.
Yeah.
The bottom line is when you're Rangers manager, you have to win. I'm seeing this morning that Stevie G's the favourite to go back there for second spell. So
the thing that Russell Martin has, great ideas for a nice style of football.
In an ideal world,
with great players as well.
Yeah,
not Southampton players. No offense to them, but certainly not in the Premier League. Championship might be.
Well,
okay.
they sold their player. I think in Dessers, who had 25 goals. And they paid 10 million for Chimiti at Everton, who's not scored a goal. And it's a little bit of blame has to go on the board.
Yeah,
I think that's fair.
For sure.
But I think it was more his body language, Jules, and he was sort of like, the Scotland Rangers fans have sort of picked up on it. And when he'd done his interviews, it was like shoulders, as if to say like, not bothered.
Yeah,
all right,
completely.
I can't see it, and I'm trying to convince everyone. It was like,
was he a player there, but didn't work? I think
so.
He went on loan, but he didn't. It was not good, and I think they hadn't forgotten that either.
I think I mean, I don't know if it means anything, but there's a tradition when you're the Rangers manager, you wear shirt, tie, blazer, shoes.
I was told that story.
He rocked up in a pair of hush puppies, and I'm thinking, like, just put a pair of brogues on.
But just like read the room, or in this case, read the fan base, and then just be smart.
Yeah,
which he clearly wasn't. But let's see who goes.
Yeah. Napoli came from behind to beat Genoa. I mean, a couple of worldy goals in that game, but another goal for Hoyland, Jules.
Yeah. And one for Jeffy Cato. If you haven't heard of Jeffy Cato, he's 18-year-old at Genoa. He's their wonder kid. I think that was already his 3rd goal of the season, or 4th goal. It's an amazing, fantastic goal, really. And I'm thinking my boy Patrick Vieira is under a bit of pressure because Genoa, I think, are second from bottom. And I'm like, ooh, okay. 1-0 Genoa. It was not perfect, but Napoli had almost nothing in that first half. KDB was on the bench.
Yeah.
And like, okay, if Patrick can pull this one off, then I think he buy himself some time, start the season, all of that. And then KDB comes on at halftime, and it's a very different story, second half. And there, another goal for Hoyland. This one, and it's not a worldie.
Great run though.
Yeah, very
It's
good.
like you're watching him.
And that's his strength anyway.
But
We've said that from the beginning.
Said it from the beginning. Why Amorim had him coming short, linking the play. Either let someone like De Bruyne get on the ball, head down, run, find him, finish.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a big win for Napoli because at home under pressure.
Well, on the day there was 3 teams who went top.
Yeah, Roma went top.
Roma went top under Gasperini.
Yeah.
Napoli went top, and then Milan could have went top if they had won last night. So, I mean, in Serie A, as always, great league to watch. Very unpredictable.
Yeah, top 5 in 3 points.
Who's going to win it?
The top 6 in France in 4 points, and then there's only really. I mean, Spain is just Barca and Real Madrid, as we said.
Bayern's
But then Bayern's Bayern, and then the Premier League is good.
I love Serie A because you just don't know who's going to win it.
Absolutely. As we said earlier, it's the international breakdown, so your country is going to play at some point, so make sure you follow that and support that. And Thomas Tuchel announced his England squad on Thursday, and there was no Jude Bellingham, no Jack Grealish, and no Phil Foden. I will ask you...
As a Scotsman, I'm quite happy.
I know you're quite happy, for sure. And the latest, as well, we hear is that Reece James has pulled that off the squad and Nico O'Reilly.
Good on him.
Good on him. You're right. The Manchester City midfielder / defender will have his first call-up. So let's see if he has his first cap or not. But certainly a call-up for now is great and he deserves it too. No Jude Bellingham, who I think has played now 5 or 6 games since coming back from that shoulder surgery. Are you surprised with that? And my question is it something else than just the pitch?
Do you remember when Thomas Tuchel said I think he said it was his mum who finds his repulsive, which was quite a strong word, and he sort of later retracted that, said he'd sort of got lost in translation. So I will give Thomas Tuchel the benefit of the doubt there. Having said that, I knew it would anger the player. Yeah, it's quite a bad thing to be level. Really. Yeah, it is. Yeah. I mean, I as I said before, I'll sort of leave it to one side because it's his second language, but still, I don't know. I think Tuchel's being honest. I think he seems like an honest manager to me, and he's probably saying to Jude Bellingham, right, listen, you just had a shoulder surgery. Why don't you miss these games, get yourself fully fit, get yourself flying again, get yourself 100% fit, and prove to me that you should be in my squad. So even though you're leaving out a really good player, I can sort of understand it. Jack Grealish done a brilliant interview at the weekend, just saying people are looking into this a little bit too deep. He went, there's other players that are in form, there's other players playing well.
He's such a nice guy, isn't he?
He's such a nice guy, and a guy that I think when he retires, I think we'll all, I think so anyway, and I think we'll all go, do you know what, actually, he was a genius footballer. Genius footballer. And he was underrated at Man City, won the treble, but I think that last year, everyone sort of concentrated more on the last year at City rather than look at the bigger picture on how actually good he is.
I agree.
And you've seen that at Everton. Phil Foden's a surprise. Yeah. I don't know if you agree with that.
Yeah, completely. I thought Grealish should have been called up too.
Did Loftus-Cheek made it, didn't he? He made the squad.
Tuchel kept the same squad and said, it's good. We were super happy with this squad.
Yeah.
On the pitch, off the pitch as well.
Where she can read into that.
Yeah.
So does Jude bring a bit more baggage?
Exactly.
Not doing interviews or not doing as much?
I think if you don't bring Bellingham back for this, you can't bring in Foden or Grealish.
So what would happen now if like Liverpool, if England and Thomas Tuchel were like in really good form, like red hot form, the camp's good, and you go into the World Cup, are you leaving Bellingham, Grealish and Foden behind?
I don't know. But I think you've created a problem by not calling them for this, and there's only 2 camps left. Yeah. So, I mean, 3 with this one, really. But this
that's what I mean, though. Like, you're putting your flag in
March. And
you're putting your flag in your sand. And if they play well, you go, might not take you to the World Cup. Yeah. Can't imagine that.
And also, it clearly shows, I know you said it might just be like, just get back to your best and then you're going to be back here. Or maybe we read too much into it. Or maybe it's just like there's another problem. And you're right. Like, off the field, that squad was very good.
Well, there was rumours about Jude not pulling his weight with interviews and turning people. I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, it is true.
I don't know if that's true. So that can anger other players.
Yeah, definitely.
That's where it needs someone like Harry Kane to pull Jude into rank and say, listen, you need to do a bit more. You're a global superstar. Like, come on, you got to pull your weight a little bit. It's not just all me or other players.
And I think Tuchel knows, even if he hasn't been personally to a World Cup before, because this is his first international experience, really, I think he's too smart not to know that what can also make you win or not win a competition like that is that bad atmosphere within your camp.
It's going to be fascinating.
Yeah, definitely.
Inter, who are back in form, destroyed Cremonese, and Jamie Vardy, unlikely hero.
Yeah, Jamie Vardy came on for the last 20 or 25 minutes, I think. Not to great effect because Inter, as you said, destroyed them 4-1. And the hero for Inter was Ange-Johan Boni, the French striker that they signed in the summer from Parma, I think. The young 21-year-old, Paris born and bred, of course.
Oh, well, he's going to be a worldie then, obviously.
You know. But to be fair, and he was there because Thuram got a rest and, he's been injured as well. So he started up front with Lautaro. 1 goal and 3 assists. So he was involved in each of the goals from Inter scored. Amazing. Wow. And he's such a Thuram-esque of player. Obviously a bit younger. But yeah, I was so happy for him because it's a big move when you go from Parma and when you have Lautaro and Marcus Thuram ahead of you in the pecking order and stuff like that. So well done to him. I think he will take every opportunity that Kivu gives him to try to show that he's worthy for this level and this team and see where that leads him. But great for him. 3 assists and 1 goal in the league game. It's pretty good. Great. Tottenham are 3rd in the table now, only a point behind Liverpool and 2 behind Arsenal after their win at the weekend. And Matis Tel and Mohamed Kudus scored their first goal of the season as well.
Tel's goal was brilliant, wasn't it?
Brilliant
goal. Kudus, I get it. Why West Ham just took the money and sold it to Tottenham, I'll never, ever know.
I think it was
Celtic
the first
rivals.
Exactly, the first transfer between the two clubs in 12 years. You
Long
don't...
time.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, who'd have been the last? It would have been, I think, Michael Carrick or Jermaine Defoe, I think.
Maybe. Scott Parker, maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think I was told Scott Parker.
My takeaway from the game, without Kulusevski and without Maddison, Xavi Simons was sensational.
As a 10, I agree.
As a number 10. Versatile young player, can play off the left. His best position is 10.
Yeah, I agree.
You let him roam and get on the ball and find space and get him the service. With Kudus on one side, Brennan Johnson, Tell, etc. It's an exciting Tottenham side. They're not flawless. We've seen that over the last 3 or 4 games. But hey, they're flying under Thomas Frank.
Yeah. And I think if you want to be more pragmatic, which Frank will be because this is his style as well, you can take Odebert out, bring another midfielder, Bergval or Sarr. And have a midfield 3 there, maybe more solid, more balanced.
Change the shape.
Yeah, and put Xavi back on the left.
We always talk about Amorim putting his flag in the sand.
Yeah.
Thomas Frank's the other way. No, I'm going to play a 4 this week. I'm going to play a 5 the week after.
3 or 2 in midfield. That's good to have that.
Yeah. Gigi Buffon was a happy man this weekend. Jules, why?
Your boy plays, your eldest, plays football. So you know what it is like when you're a dad.
Yeah.
And your son makes his professional debut or first team debut, whatever level. And that happened to the Buffon family because Louis Buffon, who's 17, a winger at Pisa.
Winger? How does a goalkeeper produce a winger?
It must be the mum gene.
Exactly, she's a winger.
Came on against Bologna. They lost that game, but still, it was great to see him making his debut. He decided to play for Czechia, which is his mum's country, instead of Italy. He looked decent, to be fair. I don't know how good he can be or how, what's the ceiling really. But what was funny as well is that with him at Pisa, Buffon has Juan Cuadrado with him, who used to play with his dad. I think this is crazy in itself.
Brilliant.
And against him for Bologna in this game was Bernardeschi, who also used to play with Gigi.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. Again, what a great story.
It's a brilliant story.
The 2026 World Cup ball has been unveiled. Here it is. Beautiful. What do you make of it? I know you love a tango.
I was just going to say, it's no tango 82 or 86. So, it'll never be beaten. But I've got to say, I'm feeling it.
You're feeling it?
I'm feeling it. It looks good.
You like the colours of the 3 countries, obviously?
Absolutely. It looks great.
You've got details with the maple leaf there.
Yeah, the stars.
The stars. There, Everybody has their the colour. The colour and the... Yes, I think it's nice.
You feeling that?
Yeah, I think.
What's your favourite? Have you got a favourite over the years? Mine's a tango.
Yeah. I see the tango. When you put it on our WhatsApp group the other day, it looked perfect, doesn't it? It looked beautiful. I like the one in 2010, which had a kind of a similar...
I think another one you mean, the curves.
Yeah, exactly, the kind of waves.
Another one you mean.
That's good. We know that France is going to win this World Cup.
Oh,
anyway,
is it?
So regardless of the ball,
a bit of blue?
It's not a problem.
Hey, talk about Justin Kluivert and talk about the family, by the way, the Kluivert family. What happened there at the weekend?
Great week, Don. Great week, because as you mentioned, Justin scored a worldie on Friday night in the win of Bournemouth against Fulham. But before that, his brother Ruben, who's a little bit younger, plays at Lyon, centre-back, scored in the Europa League against RB Salzburg. And the day before that, the other brother, Shane, who is 19 and plays for Barcelona under 19s.
God, there's some genes there, isn't there?
Man. In the Champions League Youth League, for the under 19s, Barca was playing PSG, obviously, because it's the same. It mirrors the men's fixture. And Shane scored a great goal as well to bring his team back to 1-1, and then Barca would win it. So the three clouded sons scoring
that is a proud dad, isn't it?
I bet Patrick will be happy. That's a happy week, Patrick. That's
brilliant.
A really good week. Don, that's all we have time for today,
Loved
mate.
it.
Thank
Hey,
you
love
so
it.
much for
Love
coming.
it.
Thank you. We had a great show. We'll be back on Thursday. Gab will be back, I think, and we review all the midweek action. Until then, as Gab always says, love yourself, love the game, love your neighbor, something like that.